Hello and welcome to the episode 2 recap of The Courtship. Now, I know that the show airs on Sunday evenings in the United States, but episode 2 just randomly became available on a Tuesday in Belgium, so yeah, this is the recap. Okay, so all the guys are all living together in a house somewhere on the grounds. Mr. Kessler is quite handsome. I never actually noticed that before. He's also into all the Regency-ness, which is really cute. Today, they're all going to be spending the day at the lake for some rowing and a picnic. Mr. Safa has experience with rowing and yeah, he's a jock and he trains, so he's feeling confident and he decides that he'd like to win Nicole's parents over, get to know them. This is a good move. Captain Kim joins them in the boat with her parents. I think even though I don't really like Mr. Safa's hair, he just stands out physically, which I do like. There are a handful of brunette suitors whose names I don't even know, which is never good. Nicole mentions that Mr. Hunter caught her eye. That's interesting. I feel like she might choose him for her individual date. She ends up in the boat with the New York guy who she kissed last episode and another guy who sings. She doesn't really seem that impressed by the singing though. And then, because these guys are so into this, 3 of them jump into the lake to prove to Nicole, Miss Remy, that they can, and it's kind of really hot. Mr. Cohn's, Chet Hanks' guy, is one of them, and the guy with the amazing jaw structure, who's actually stood out to me from episode 1, so I can imagine Nicole must have noticed him too. Anyway, Nicole spends time with amazing jaw structure guy. His name is Mr. Chapman, by the way, and she tells us that she thinks he's sexy, which obviously. Hamilton guy, Mr. Lux, cuts in and they spend some time together. Nicole isn't quite feeling it. She says that he's physically attractive, but the sparks aren't exactly flying. He's gonna be on the chopping block pretty soon, I think. Ooh, and then Mr. Cones and Nicole end up dancing at the picnic. It's really cute, but we already saw last episode that they have fantastic chemistry. He's going to be at least in the final 3, I'm calling it now. So it's interesting because I don't find him the most attractive of the group or even the most interesting on his own, but I love their chemistry together. I think they're a really good match from what I can see so far. Then Nicole has a chat with a beard guy, Mr. Castronova or something. He's charming, low-key, likes her and her family, but nothing about him really stands out, which... Mr. Holland works in education. He gets to spend some time with her and they get along really well. Again, nothing very noteworthy though. Mr. Hunter impresses Nicole's parents. He's a great conversationalist, he has good manners, he's just an all-round nice guy, and he reminds me of a Disney prince or a Ken doll, like generically handsome. Not exactly a bad thing. Mr. King then gets some time with Nicole. He's suffered a few losses of loved ones recently and he opens up to Nicole about his mom and what she meant to him. They get a little misty-eyed and they do connect. It's good that he can open up and Nicole appreciates this and she says that she's there for him. Okay, so now that he's shown his vulnerable side, I'm going to need to see the fun and charming side before I can make a real judgment. So Nicole's parents ask Mr. Hunter if he'd like to go on an individual date with Nicole. Yes, they choose this episode. So this is a big deal, but as some of the guys point out, it wasn't like Nicole was choosing, so... you know. So the date goes really well and they're an extremely attractive pair and they kiss. Oh, I love this. He's definitely in the running and she's very attracted to him. Seeing more of him on the date and their chemistry, yeah, I like them a lot. Towards the end of the episode, we have another farewell dance where Nicole will dance with 5 suitors and of those 5, 2 will have to go home. Mr. Cones, Captain Kim, Mr. Lux, another guy, Mr. Mumbry, I think, and Mr. Kessler all get the farewell dance, which is like, what? I mean, Mr. Kessler jumped into the lake for her. Mr. Cones is a surprise as well, but I kind of wonder if she's picking guys that she doesn't intend to send home, but she wants to have a little bit more time and be a bit more sure and to kind of mix things up a bit because there's no way that she wants Mr. Cones to go home. I guess correctly because she tells Mr. Cones that. I knew it. Anyway, he's safe. Hamilton guy Mr. Lux has the dance and it's a farewell. I mean, I knew it. These guys have all brought their A game and Mr. Lux has fumbled quite a bit. Oh well, you snooze, you lose. We're left then with Captain Kim and Mr. Kessler. I'm kind of neutral on both of them. She chooses Captain Kim to stay. I mean, there's no sizzle there, so I suspect he'll be going home at some point. He is really sweet though, so I could be wrong. Oh no, this means that Mr. Kessler is going home. He's very gracious about being let go, which is nice, I guess. So my only basic comment is that I feel like she should have kept Mr. Kessler around a little longer. He's also really into the Regency of it all, And I think the contestants who enjoy that aspect and kind of play into that are a lot of fun to watch. But, you know, Nicole's the one who has to spend time with these guys. So, yeah, I guess she's going to make her decisions. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Whenever next week's episode becomes available, I'll definitely be doing a recap on that. Feel free to share your thoughts and thank you for watching.